Lonely Attack on the Different World, web novel chapter 50. Like a rhythm mania, right? Day 27, daytime, Amoy's Guild. They woke me up, even though I still want to sleep. They dragged me to the guild, even though I did nothing wrong. The verdict is unjust. Even though I was scolded after we returned to the inn. This time as well, although I don't think it even has to be mentioned, I didn't do anything wrong. But for some reason, I'm being scolded again. I tried to appeal by asking if fervently beating monsters counts as a crime, but they scolded me anyway. I mean, I didn't hear that there's going to be a horde of monsters coming. No one told me about the incoming attack. Yeah, I'm sure even gobs didn't say anything about this. How am I supposed to know that? Even kobolds didn't say anything like, hey, there is a stampede coming. Moreover, why didn't you report this immediately? How am I supposed to do that when I'm busy whacking them? I was very preoccupied at the time. It's just as bad as saying to the people of the attacked villages, well, you should have reported it? Are the villagers supposed to run to report this while kobolds are chewing on their heads? And yet, they're mad at me? Even the fried fish, I was selling it because they asked me to sell them. I only fried fish because I felt bad for them since they must have been very hungry. Well, I did make a huge profit, though, and yet I was scolded, and the president confiscated all of it. This is cruelty, just as greedy and cruel as the poachers. In the first place, they just keep coming one after another. What choice did I have but to whack them? Like in a beat, in a rhythm mania, bam, 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 whack, whack. Just keep hitting them. Why can't they understand it? And why am I supposed to be scolded for that?
Haruka-kun, first of all, as the guildmaster, I'd like to thank you for stopping the monster horde. Thank you. That number... The town hardly could have gotten through it unharmed. It probably would have led to considerable casualties among adventurers and soldiers. You really saved us. As a result...
While the guildmaster, strangely troubled about the conversation going nowhere, I then asked for the details of a receptionist lady, the one that is talkative, often says too much, and later gets scolded for it. It seems that originally when such a large-scale attack is happening, the guild and the local troops would intercept them, and then buying up all of the dropped magic stones and weapons, split the money. Half would be going to the adventurers with the size of the cut reflective of their ranks, and the other half split between the city and the guild. The city would use that money to repair the city wall, and the guild would use it to compensate families of wounded and deceased, covering the expenses they suffered in the attack. Yet, this time, they waited for a whole day, yet monsters didn't show up. Yup, it was perfect, but I didn't get a single prize. Nothing. Since I was tricked, I'm the victim here. So the adventurers didn't fight, but they still have to compensate them. Well, that's to be expected. They were paying 500 ere per fish. But the town walls have not even a single scratch on them. Well, obviously, since no monsters came. Unfortunately, the town couldn't boost its popularity with monsters. The guild also took no damage. Well, since they kept kindling bonfires, it probably cost them a bit. And since I'm not an adventurer and wasn't summoned, there is no cut for me. Yep, I don't recall being called. What's the problem here? Since I defeated all of the monsters, the city can't just take the loot, but since it's the rule, they have to do it. But if they're going to do it, they won't be able to compensate me for it. But I was the one who defeated the horde. The city says that they will issue me a reward, and I already collected the most valuable stuff. As long as I can sell that, it should net me a hefty sum. The rest is the stuff I gave up on to begin with. And I also made a good profit selling fried fish, so I don't particularly care, but it doesn't sit well with the guildmaster. Or so it seems. Since I don't need it, I told them to just sort it out between the lord and the guild, and escaped because the talk is too long. I received 100 gold coins as the second installment for the magic stones that I sold them previously. 10 million ere. The money I had on me yesterday was confiscated, but I have 5 times that today. He also said that they will do something about my share from this, but to be honest, I just received 10 million ere. I don't really care about getting more money. I mean, they couldn't pay me for my previous share of the magic stones. If I take more money from them, I won't be able to sell any more magic stones. I accumulated a ton of magic stones since then, and yet I can't turn them into money. This time, they will make another exception and will purchase magic stones from me. As I immediately head to the purchase counter, the face of the lady behind it suddenly tensed. Hemifacial spasm? It seems that they are going to do overtime today as well, unable to keep up with the appraisal of magic stones from the horde. As I mercilessly dumped down a mountain of magic stones on top of the counter, she glared at me, about to burst into tears. But when I told her, you can count my share when you have time, I will tell the guildmaster to give you a bonus for the effort, she accepted it with a smile. Yeah, she is going to work hard for a bonus. Even when it comes to the clubs, I won't be able to get rid of them all, even if I sell them to every shop. I mean, even now, everyone has multiple clubs. Or rather, if I manage to sell all those clubs here, this time might really be in danger. Every citizen of the town would have to equip something like 10 clubs. Even goblins will run away from such a town, no doubt. It seems that the time for the town to be renamed to Clubtown is not so far away. I'll run away if it actually happens. Yeah, definitely it will be safer in the forest.